Now, this one is called cheap at any price. I'm sure, like me, there are many of you who have been broke before. Having no money, it can be truly demoralizing. Having money means having options. It means you eat what you like, not what you must. It means you choose where you want to live, not how, and how you want to travel or what you want to do with your time and who you want to spend your time with. Money buys choices. And having options and choices gives you confidence and a sense of self-worth. And that is why society assigns value to people based on how much money they have. And that's why when we're broke, we feel worthless. Today I have a story that will challenge your perception of what you are worth. So a man went to see his priest. He was sad and depressed after years of bad luck. He had achieved nothing in his entire adult life. Everything he ever tried failed miserably. He was penniless with no prospects. He had no idea where his next meal would come from. Basically, this man was at the end of his tether. He had lost all faith in himself, and after confessing his sins, well, he bade the priest farewell. But there was something about his downtrodden demeanor that caught the priest's attention. So he called the man back into his office and said, "What is really troubling you, my son?" Well, the man burst into tears. "Father, I am worthless," he cried. "I have nothing to show for my existence on earth all these years. I have been a burden to many and a blessing to none. I will not be missed when I'm gone because I am of no value to anyone." The priest smiled and said, "My son, you're unhappy because you have no money? You think you're of no value because you're broke? Let me ask you this. If someone asked you to chop off your hand for 1,000 cedis, would you do it?" "Well, of course not," the man scoffed. "Okay, well, what if they offered 10,000 cedis to chop your legs off?" The smiling priest asked. The man shook his head vigorously. No way," he said. The priest was warming up to his theme. He said, "Well, how about if they offered you 100,000 cedis to gouge your eyes out, make you blind forever?" Again, the man answered without hesitation, "Not on your life, father." So the priest leaned forward and stared into the man's face as he asked, "What if I offered you 1,000,000 cedis in exchange for your life?" The man laughed and replied, "Never in 1,000,000 years." The priest gave it one last go. "How about 10 million? The man said, "Father, look, there is no way I would give up my life for 10 million cedis. If I say yes, I won't even live to spend it. But if I say no, I might live to earn it." "I see," the preacher smiled. "So, even when you are broke and worthless, you are still worth more than 10 million cedis. My friends, you see, the thing that gives our lives value is not what we have today, but what we have the potential to achieve. Having no money is terrible, but it cannot and must not define your worth. Ask yourself, how much would you pay for a person who can do anything in the world? Anything you ask him, he can do it. How much would you pay for such a person to work for you? I bet you any price you paid for such a person would be cheap, wouldn't it? Cheap at any price. Because that person, well, he could really earn you far more than you spent on them, couldn't they? Well, that's who you are. As long as you are alive, there's really nothing you cannot achieve. So any price you place on yourself would be too cheap. Let me ask you this. What do Will Smith, Richard Branson, and Larry King have in common? Yeah, these three. Well, it's not that they are all successful men, no. Well, they are all successful men who have been bankrupt before. They have all at one time or the other been flat broke and in debt. But they all came out of bankruptcy to become wealthier than ever because they didn't lose their self-worth when they lost their money. The value that they placed on themselves had nothing to do with the money that they had. People who think like that, well, they never stay poor because they are always worth millions in their heads, even when they don't have a penny in their pockets. Today, I want you to reassess your value, recalculate your wealth. At what price would you sell yourself? Whatever figure you come up with, believe me, it's too cheap. Because you, my friend, can do anything you set your mind to. Can't put a price on that, can you? My name is Kojo Yankson, and my worth determines my bank balance, not the other way around. Good morning, Ghana.